Good morning, all you fabulous people. I am back after a long weekend. Had sick family, so it's a little bit behind schedule. But wanted to get into a market update this morning on Tuesday. And first off, we still got our sponsorship of Fyendal's collection. Go ahead and click the link below and use code JCH if you want a free month of premium. Highly recommend it. It's good value. It's how I find some of these cards. But overall, great service, great company. Highly recommend at least checking them out and using their free version for their collection tracker. Anyway, Codex of Blood Marvel has spiked over the weekend. 270 is the lowest listed on the market. Last sold about 112. These are at their all-time high if you include the one that's listed that hasn't sold right now over the past year. I do think the marvels of these codexes are extremely rare. The frailty's up to like $400. I do think Blood Rot is the next best one. I do think you probably wait on this price though. It'll probably come back. I would guess 150. They'll start selling again or lower. I don't think this is worth 270 unless you're just an absolutely love of the art and plan to play this in your deck from now until Kingdom Come. But wanted to point it out, it had a huge spike. Quite a few sold. Quite a few have sold since new had been announced, basically. And I think the stock is just drying up because they're extremely rare. Celestial Cataclysm, the Unlimited Rainbow Foil, is spiking. I think this is just low inventory. Basically, it's $23 for the lowest Rainbow Foil for the Unlimited version. But the first edition, you can still get some steals at $17 compared to the Unlimited version. I do think this is interesting. This is probably... I can't imagine this is based off of Bolton, and it's more around New Prism getting better after Dromai LLing. So keep an eye out on this card. I do think $17 for a first edition Rainbow Foil is a good deal, but wait on the Unlimited Rainbow Foil. Because the Unlimited Rainbow Foil looking like market price is about $10. Otherwise, get your non-foils for this. Vambrace of Determination, the cold foil, it was down to like $30. I think one sold yesterday for $30, and then it spiked back up to $44. This card is just super interesting to me. It's gone from basically $20, $25 to $60. Now it's back to $30, $40. I think it probably settles around this $40 range. It really hasn't seen much play, to my knowledge anyway. Comment down below if you've seen them play, just as Prism hate or what it's being used for. But the Rainbow Foil is still under $10. If you need a copy, I'd pick up a Rainbow Foil right now. Flick Knives, the cold foil is... I think there's a deal here right now for $50 for the cold foils. It's $50, $55 for 2 copies here. Hope one of you guys get these if you're interested in them. I think $52. If New ends up using knives again, which is a good chance, but they could take a different route with her weapon, $50 for the cold foil I think is a pretty good deal, considering the rainbow foil is about $30, $32. So just watch out for that. Warmonger's Diplomacy, Rainbow Foil has depleted from the market again. 65 for 1 copy, and then it goes to 75, and there's only 2 copies for the Rainbow Foil listed. The non-foil has probably about 3 playsets worth, and then it disappears from the market again. This card I really think is going to be used quite a bit. Azalea is really kind of taking over just below KO in the ProQuest. Which is crazy because she had been kind of down in the dumps for a long time. I think the biggest thing there is one of her worst matchups, or one of her harder matchups, which Dromai, it was very skill-based, has left, is really helping her. So now she really has a lot of good matchups into the current meta. I do think $40 for the non-foil is still a pretty good deal, all things considered. I think the lowest Warmongers has ever been for a non-foil is about $35. Runner, the rainbow foil. There's one or a few here at 11. It was under $10 just a little bit ago. So it just had a little bit bump. Just wanted to point it out. I do think $11 for the rainbow foil is still pretty good. This is being used in quite a few decks still. The non-foil is about $9, so you might as well pick up the rainbow foil. Rouse the Ancients first edition rainbow foil has also been pretty well bought and is up to like $19. Previously, they were about $11, $12, so this is a good bump for Rouse the Ancients. I do think this is being used in Victor a lot, maybe a couple other decks, but it is a generic card, so it's not just Guardian. I think Guardian just has the easiest time popping it off. But the rainbow foil also looks really good in these. Just as a side note, also a really good card for decks that are one big attack heavy that you can throw in an extra attack per turn. Haze bending. Did one of these get bought while I was... Anyway, this cold foil, I think, is probably a fair price, but it is very Spectral Shield focused. And I think if Enigma takes off with their Spectral Shield, Haze bending is really going to be her bread and butter. I'd keep an eye out on this. I think $25 is probably pretty fair, all things considered, considering Pass Ring Mirage is about $30 for the cold foil, and the Pierce Reality is about $20. So I think this is fair. But we'll see how much this fits into New's game plan. I just think it's one of the better Spectra auras that really support Spectral Shields. Keep an eye on this. These cold foils are just unbelievably gorgeous too. I wish I had a whole play set, but I have one of each right now. I really enjoy them. The texturing for these kind of waves and the backgrounds and the border look really good. Art of War. Oh, I didn't notice this. It was Art of War, $25. I thought it was a copy just without shipping for $25. $30 is pretty fair for Art of War still. I apologize for that one. This one caught me off guard. I was just looking through, and the cold foil Blastfett has really just gone crazy. It's been about $40. I picked one off eBay for $30 a couple months ago, but $40 to $50, and then all of a sudden, one sold at $70, one sold at $60. This is low stock. $120 for the lowest one on the market is crazy. If you have any of these, I'd offload these. I don't think this gets much higher than this. Master Cog Rainbow Foil. This is last sets before heavy hitters. Fable, $35 I think is too cheap for this. I do think it's not very playable other than maybe in Max. Max I think is pretty niche right now. But I do think there's a world that maybe in the near future Max does kind of take over the meta with the Nitro Mechoid. But I wouldn't gamble on that. But still, $35 for a foil or rainbow foil Fabled that this set really hasn't been opened that much is too cheap, I think. I mean, just put it in perspective, the only other lowest Fable from 2.0 is Blood of Cry at $22. I think that's too cheap. And this is 2 sets ago, not 2 years ago, like Blood of Cry. Balance of Justice, I apologize. This one cannot stay out of our market updates. This card is just fluctuating so much, especially the cold foil. Last week it was up to like $300. Now the cold foil is back down to like $225. I think this is a steal at this price, considering a couple cold foils sold for $270, $250. I still think this is a really good price. It's being used in a lot of decks. I personally have been only using it as my headpiece in a lot of my warrior decks. That may not apply to every class, but I think it's too good not to. The rainbow foil I think is still pretty... Well, if it loads. fair at like 155, 160. But the cold foil, and there are really not that many left. There's like 10 listings before it gets to 200. Just keep an eye on this. The cold foil, I think, coming down $75 from over the weekend is pretty good. The Tenacity Rainbow Foil. This is a steal. Ninja is using this card in a lot of decks. It's a great game ender. $6.62 for one Rainbow Foil is too cheap. The next highest Rainbow Foil is $8. This is cheap. This is the cheapest Tenacity on the market in general. Go ahead and grab this if you need it. Bravo Star of the Show, the cold foil from Everfest. It's $31. A lot of Magnolia games here, $15. I think this is a fair price. This card's been up to $40, $50. I think this card's just dropping due to his basically just Target banning to get the LL format fair again, because this guy was just taking over. He's not as strong. He's still competitive, don't get me wrong, but I think this is really cool. $31 for the first quote-unquote Marvel in the game is worth it. This card is great. I sold one, and I'm really mad that I sold one. I really am in the market for one, but I don't know if I'm ready to. I've been buying a lot, so I don't know if I'm ready to spend $31 on this. I wish I had the extra funds to do it. Down the road, I'll get one, though. Codex of Tenacity, similar. One for $1.15 plus shipping, or two is too cheap. The next closest one is nearly $5 for its copy. Go ahead and pick these up if you're interested in Arachne. I think Arachne will just get great support here. Not great support. Support regardless in Part the Mistveil of just assassin cards. We'll see how much though, because they all are mystic focused, so we may see a lot of mystic assassin cards or mystic cards in general that may take away from this. But I do think this card is nuts at basically $3 for two copies. Similarly, Golden Sun, this card can't stay out, is too good at $2.30 a copy as well. The next lowest is $5, so you can pick up these two copies for the same price as the next lowest non-foil. Highly recommend picking this card up. I think Victor is really placed very well into the meta currently, and this card, for what really makes him tick, is too cheap. Alright, hope you all have a fantastic day. Subscribe to Fyendal's collection, like and subscribe. Thank you for all your watches and views. We're at like 183 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day. Updated mat wall if you didn't notice. Have a great Tuesday. Bye.